recording right now. Okay. All right. So since I kind of explained, Andrea, don't laugh at me. All right. So yes, I want this to be just something that people can take away. For people that haven't watched it, for people that haven't been to World Tour, for people that have been, and then for different locations. So Andrea went to Baltimore, right? Yes. So she probably had a completely different experience than we did in Raleigh. So that's another exciting thing that I want this kind of like be to take away. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started just to like break the ice. That way we don't have to like, okay, someone else is next. So I'm gonna go ahead and start. First of all, World Tour is always super, super fun and exciting. I love it because it's local and it's something that we can get to as a team, because a lot of us are local, but then some of us aren't. But it's something that we can end up doing together, and it's something that allows us to build that culture and environment that I truly like earn for this team. So we went to 3 different breakout sessions. So I'm just kind of going to give you like my golden nuggets that I had from whenever I went. So the first one was Jennifer Anderson. And if those of you that are not familiar with Jennifer Anderson, 100% recommend stalking her on Facebook, recommend stalking her on YouTube. She's amazing. She knows what she's doing. She retired her husband, which, I mean, that's huge in itself. And to me, like, I would love to say that I've done that, but at the same time, that scares the shit out of me. So I'm just not there yet. So that's just me. But it's something that would be super exciting to tell people that I not only quit my full-time job, granted, I don't want to go anywhere yet because I love my job, but to retire my husband, who will be husband by then. So, but just so y'all get my point. And he's over here talking about a food truck, and to be able to think that I could like provide a food truck for him, like, is actually kind of exciting. So Jennifer Anderson, she's been with Scentsy for 10 years. She's an SSD. She has 30 directors, like 30 directors. That's crazy. So and I'm just going to kind of read down like my notes that I took. So she basically said, everything you do in this business is a learned skill, and 100% hands down, that is so true. So, y'all on this call tonight, you are learning takeaways from us that went to World Tour, and that could potentially be something that could be instilled in your business, and then you use it from here on out. And then it's something that works in your business. It may be something that doesn't work, but either way, you're learning the skills that we're providing for you guys, or our takeaways. The whole thing of saying I'm not a salesperson, y'all, I am not no salesperson. All I do is put the wax in people's noses, and that's all I do. So that's a excuse buster all day long, that when someone comes to you, when you lead with an opportunity and someone comes to you and says, I'm not a salesperson. Okay, well, I'm not either. You can definitely get scents in people's noses, and that's all it takes in this business. She had a fantastic quote, and she said, excitement and passion gets you to the base of the mountain, but skills get you over the mountain. So, it's going to take you excitement and whatnot to get to World Tour, but to actually like get takeaways and to instill these golden nuggets into your business, that's what's going to get you over the mountain. That's what's going to make you succeed in this business. So that's something, that quote stuck with me, and it's totally valid and totally applicable to the business. She said that being a student is what will get you success. You fall, you get back up, and you do it all over again, and you keep going. So, I mean, there's been plenty of times that I have legit just like been in a funk. I'm not feeling life. I'm not feeling talking to anybody, but I have to get over that hump. Okay. I have to get over that mood of, I don't want to talk to anybody. So that was just another reiteration of, you're doing this for the right reasons. Let's see. She made it straightforward, saying every product you have is not for every customer, which is so true. Like, target your customers. Make sure, when you have a certain product that comes out and you have a certain customer that you have built that relationship with, then reach out to them. If it's something that they're completely disgusted with, reach out to them anyway. Let them say no, but still target your customers so that way okay, I know that they're going to love this. I potentially can have an order off that. Let's see. Always present to everyone, but through your relationships, target marketing will come. So this is stuff like MailChimp, like email campaigns, other things like that, just to kind of that she uses that I get that have been successful in her business. One huge thing that I've also been instilling into my daily Scentsy life is when I want someone's contact information, I'm not going to ask them what's your email address, okay? Or what's your Instagram handle? What's your phone number? I am saying, hey, let me have your phone number. Hey, what's your Instagram? So I can build these relationships with people that I'm coming in contact with, and I may never see again, but I know for damn sure that they're going to be seeing my Instagram. They're going to be potentially they will be hearing from me if I have their phone number. But I know that if I have their Instagram, I know that they're going to constantly see what I'm posting, and who knows, it may sit well with them or it may not. So you never know when that opportunity is going to come up. Don't treat it like a transaction. So this laid heavy on my heart because I know sometimes like we're all in that like hustle and bustle, like I want this order now. But it's so important to build those relationships with your customers. And I can't stress that enough because it's the last thing that I want, someone reaching out to me for me to order from them when I know that they know nothing about me. That's just something that it doesn't sit well with me. And so I'm not doing that to my customers. So every time I'm reaching out to them, I'm looking at their Facebook, intentionally looking at their life and having something to say to them the next time that I message them. Let's see. We're moving on to Lead the Pack from Chastity, which, by the way, I will post her YouTube link to her talk in the team page because it was actually recorded. So those of you that want to hear her chat, it's actually recorded. So she always talks about claiming it. If you want to reach a certain level, claim it. Don't just say, oh, I want this level. Like, hey, I'm going to earn level 3 of this incentive instead of I want to earn level 3 of this incentive. So claim it, speak it into existence, and you'll succeed. If you have a team, she did more so like if, for those of you that are coming to develop your team, if you have teams, figure out how to get them to stay. You want to retain your team. Okay, so you want to make sure that you've built them up with as much success as you can in their first 70 days because that's the most vital point in their time for them to learn everything about this business. And now that's also to say that they're taking it into their own hands and also like learning the material themselves. She asked 3 questions. Simple, authentic, and generous. So how are you being generous throughout your business? How are you being authentic throughout your business? And how are you being simple? Okay, so simple is like, doing samples, like real quick samples of giving them out and being intentional with getting their contact information. No one wants your job if you're not making it simple. So I want people on my stories to see how easy it is to get a grab bag together and get it out to somebody, okay? I can do it in one night and it's going in the mail in the morning and boom, like there it is. So you want people to want your job. So you've got to make it simple. Lastly, coaching your people is super important. Set your expectations for your team. Like, y'all know that I expect you guys to interact. Y'all know that I expect you guys to, what I'm doing, I kind of expect you guys to replicate, because why would I show you what I'm doing if I don't want you guys to be successful in your business? let's see. She also said, don't focus too hard on the systems to the point you forget about the relationships, which it's so true because it's the last thing that I want for this like culture to be like, oh, we just got to put in orders. Okay. I want these Zoom calls to be like family. Like I want, you guys are like a sisterhood. So I want this to be added in. Hi, Jamie. I want this to be part of a sisterhood. Okay. So first of all, let me see if I can mute. I don't know if it's going to mute. Maybe not. Okay. Step up your join packet and recruiting game. Your team is going to know if you're worried about hitting numbers, which this is true too. So those of you that do not have join packets, don't give me a heart attack, okay? You need to have join packets. I was really slack on this, but it's something that is so vital that I have back there in my little basket. I have them available, ready to go. I'm ready to hand them out right now, okay? I've got one going in the mail tomorrow, okay? So, and that also comes with having conversations. So let's ask some questions. Those of you since March 1st, how many people, how many join conversations, put in the chat box, how many join conversations have you had since this new incentive? Let's see what some responses. All right, so we got 3-ish, 1, 5 or more. All right, so I challenging you right now, by Friday, everyone at least needs 10 joint conversations. Between yesterday and today, I've had 13 going on 15 between the last 2 days. And 2 of them took grab bag parties and 1 of them wants joint information. And then another girl reached out to me. So maybe that's 14. I don't know. But I have everybody written down in my planner. So that way I see their name. I've got them in my dream team list. I've got them in my Google Doc of, okay, I contacted them on 3/3. They gave me a no. I just got a no 2 seconds ago from a girl that I reached out to yesterday. Guys, if they don't respond, it's not the end of the world. Go to the next person and keep talking. Keep asking about the opportunity. They said something really good on the leaders call yesterday, talking about leading with the opportunity. And that actually hit home with me because that made so much sense. Why would we not start out with a joint opportunity? So it's just so like, it's so applicable. Why wouldn't we start out with it? Like, yeah, we can have grab bag parties, we can have home parties, we can have that high PRV, but at the end of the day, if we don't build our team, what are we doing? Right? So I'm gonna finish up in 2 minutes and then the next person's gonna go. Meredith Eckerd she has a fantastic like fire story. She's a boss. Like, she's a boss. She earned Bermuda in the hospital. She was in the hospital. She didn't let that stop her, and she earned Bermuda. So there's that. Like, that's like a mic drop. I have no other comments on that one. She was talking about set your fears aside. So what was that? Fear Up, Tear Up. I think that was the name of the last one. I have it in my notes. So things that scare us, changing those fears into function. So yeah, it may scare the shit out of us to come live and, do Zoom videos, but at the end of the day, make that functioning. Like, just do it and then go from there. So I know we all get in our head. I'll speak right now. I get in my head all the time. I will sit here and tell myself, which I told Mary Ellen this the other day, of reaching out to people. I was like, I've got their name ready to send them the opportunity, but I can't. Like, I make up an excuse in my head of, no, there's no reason to message them. I don't think that they'd want to join. Why do I do that? Okay. So I literally had to force myself to message. I had 13 people yesterday, and I literally had to force myself to message them. And if I hadn't of, 1, I wouldn't have known where they stood with Cincy, and 2, I would be at like, no. So if you don't ask, the answer is always no. Meredith also talked about not being selfish to ask the people to do Scentsy with you. So instead of like asking them if they want to join, why don't you say, hey, I think you'd be great. Would you want to do Scentsy with me? And I mean, who wouldn't want to do Scentsy? I mean, come on, right? So she had a great takeaway. I don't know if hers was recorded, but my whole like point is World Tour is the event that people need to go to. It's something that refuels the fire. It's something that gets people motivated to do things in their business that other consultants are doing that may end up working out better for you than, you know, say our umbrella of a team that people don't end up doing things that stick. So we always talk about finding something that works for you, sticking with it, and going forward. So I'm done opening up the floor to everybody else. Who wants to go? All right, we know Carly went to World Tour. We know Andrea went. Jamie went. Christy, Cindy. Who's going?
I can go.
Go.
I was going to go last. Who wants to go then?
You are going last. Carly, go. Have fun.
Take Carly off mute.
She is off. I can't
I'm
hear
off
her.
mute.
There you go.
Look, I'm getting all kinds of notifications over here. What am I doing?
Really?
Sorry, you surprised me. You can't do that. I'm on 2 hours of sleep. You have to let me get my thoughts together. So I went to a World Tour.
Yeah. Sorry.
What are you doing? Are you telling me to hold on?
She was waving. What'd you say?
I said I'll go if you don't want to.
Oh, you want to wait?
It doesn't matter. Either way.
Who's going?
I don't care. It doesn't matter.
All right, Andrea, go.
Okay. So I went to Baltimore for the first time, and it was definitely fun and crazy at the same time. Some interesting people for sure. However, I did not know what climb meant until World Tour. And when I found that out, I think that was by far the best part for me. Because, you know, I don't know if anybody's religious, but it just connects so well with, you know, your beliefs and everything. So that was great. And the one part that we got was, I don't even remember who said it, but they always said that you want to be around people. And if you don't know it, you Google that stuff, GTS, just Google that stuff, which is what I feel that we all need to do when it comes to learning something. Because I know we're a large group and we're all there to help each other, but there's always ways to find something out without interfering with other people. And so let's see. Then they also said to, obviously the main thing I think that we all know is to be around people that influence you or that support you, not negative people, which is always something to remember every time for us. So I think that was one of the things I wrote down. And in my right on target, I had Steffi. I don't know her last name, Malberg, whatever it is. And what I liked from what she pretty much said, like when everybody says about the MLM groups, it's pretty much that we all start at the same point. We all start at the bottom. Everybody can go to different levels. And that's one thing that we also need to remind people who want to join, is that you can do better than what I'm doing. There's no, you know, you have your own goal. You can reach whatever you want and not feel like, oh, well, they're doing better than me or they're not, because it all goes based on how much you put into the business than how much you just take away from it. And then, like you said, getting contact information. That's one of the things she said. She said, you know, when you go to events, to always get a contact information, whether it is a email address, a phone number, always make sure you get something, and to do it as part of a conversation, not as, you know, something awkward when you first walk up to them, hey, can I get your information? And what I like that she did is she said after she had a conversation with them, when they left, she would jot down the few things that she talked about on the back of their invoice. So that way she remembered what they talked about. So when she follows up with them, she has that information to go off of. Let's see. And so she said that she does something called friend collecting, which is to add at least 3 to 5 new people every day on Facebook, which is almost, I guess, like reaching out to people, but you could always add them on Facebook so they see your feed. She goes, you know, regardless whether you know them or not, she calls it friend collecting. It's not being odd or stalkish. It's just adding. She's like, you never know if they turn you down or not because feed, so they see what you're posting. And that was good because, I mean, Facebook gives us people that we might know every day. So we could always just click, 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 click. She said when it comes to Facebook groups, to have the conversations with those people, find a comment. And if you find something in common with a certain person, after like a conversation, send them a friend request because you have that in common with them. So it's not an awkward friend request that you're sending them like you just randomly said, oh yeah, you have that bond. So that's something that you can start off of. Let's see. I wrote a lot of notes. Sorry, guys. She said if you find single orders, she said she never takes single orders ever. She says what she does is that if she has somebody who's placing an order that's 50 or more, she tries to get them to turn it into a party. Because if she has somebody that's about spending $80 alone, she'll ask them, hey, do you have anybody else that needs anything? Because you're only, 100 and some odd away from getting free points and free product. So she tries not to ever take single orders and, upsell everything for the most part. So that way then it benefits them at the same time. And that was a very smart and good one that I heard because we always have people that buy wax bundles or warmers and everything. So that's a good way of getting them to get a party as well as free stuff to where they're always coming back. And that was for that one. My lead the pack, I had Andy Teeter, which again, like I said, I'm so grateful you said to do that one because she was amazing. And I mean, she's honest and raw and funny and by far the best one that I think we've seen. Let's see. She said that if you're not doing well, it's because you don't believe in yourself and you're scared, which is, I think, one thing we, again, need to remember is that, we can only do as well as we believe in ourselves. So if we don't believe in us, there's no way that we can grow. She said networking is just only you opening your mouth. I mean, that's it. Just open your mouth and it's done. Always plant seeds, which is, again, what we've been told about. Let's see. And she said when it comes to leading, we all started with a team of me. Like, everybody starts with just one. You all started with a team of me, and that's enough to just lead. And you started there. You already know what's to come. And then she asked the question, what does a good leader mean to me? And I figured that was something good for all of us to think about how we want to be as a leader, to write down, what's a good leader to me. So that way then we know what to do when we have somebody under us, or if we want somebody to be under us, we know how to handle those situations. My favorite part is, in order to learn she said it's your job as an independent, and she said that several times, independent consultant to learn on your own. Like, I mean, it's in the word, you are an independent consultant. So if you don't know the answer, you need to go find the answer, not wait around for somebody else to spoon feed you those things. Let's see. She said set boundaries, 80% on your business when you have a team, 20% on the team business, because you should always focus on yourself first because your team can only grow if you grow. Tuesday trainings, I thought that was pretty cool since I know you guys were talking about doing trainings. She said they do Tuesday trainings. Every Tuesday they have like their Zoom, and she goes, they most of the time just drink and do work together for the most part, or they learn. And Flossom, I love her word Flossom because we are all, yeah, I saw, but her word Flossom I thought was amazing because, I mean, we all have flaws, every last one of us, and whether we just need to accept them. And that was from her. My setup your Scentsy life was Courtney Young, and she says invest in your business. Don't just upsell your products. You want to upsell your business, because what we want is for more people to be with us, not just buying our product. Let's see. I don't have much from that one. It says, what would your dream customer think or say about you, was the question she asked, which again is going back to reflecting on who we are. And if we don't have anything good that we don't think our customer will say about us, we should probably fix those behaviors that we have. And what I think Courtney does is, she said to update your story, your stickers, your marketing, always change it every time, so people don't think they're just getting something generic and they think that you're actually working your business. Let's see. She said without referrals your business won't grow, which I believe we all knew. She said go live, go on stories, post polls, always have samples, and always write down what you are doing so you can follow up and not forget. And then my fear up, tear up, and gear up wasn't really that great, so I don't really have much notes on that, besides that you need to step into your fear in order to tell other people what to do, so that way then you've experienced it, you've been through it, and you can relate on that. Other than that, mine's about done. That's pretty much it.
Yay! Thanks for sharing all the golden nuggets. I'm going to unmute so y'all can figure out who's going next.
Hi, Ashley.
I can go next. Can you
Shoot.
get me back, please?
All right, who wants to go next?
I can go next. This is Christy.
Okie dokie, go for it.
Christy.
So, one of the trainings I went to was Step It Up, and some things that she gave. She was like, at the beginning, she said that we have things that you own. We own our business. We own our income. We own our mentorship. We own how we work our own business. So these are things that we control. We nobody else controls those things. We do. And she was saying that, how can we step it up? You need to know how you are working your business. A closed mouth keeps your business closed. So if you're not telling anybody about Scentsy and about your Scentsy business, then you're not going to get any sales. You're not going to have any customers. You're not going to have any new consultants. And she used the word habit. So the H stands for how to learn. Don't be afraid to ask questions. The A stands for authentic connection maker. She said you should go into a store and change people's lives by opening up and just talk. Be intentional with booking. Be intentional with your conversations. Don't just go into a store and just ask somebody, can I put my brochures here? Can I post my put my Scentsy information in here? Be intentional, educate, so that the person that you're giving it to will love it. Be a booking master. Book parties, book events. Intentional follow-ups. Don't just call your customers, but make them feel like you want them to enjoy Scentsy and be a part of Scentsy and love it as much as you do. T is team building. Create a community that people will want to be a part of. Like if you have new consultants, you should train them within 48 hours. You can do a Marco Polo. You can do a group on Facebook. Anything that you can use, like Zoom that we're doing tonight, to talk to them and get them trained. You can make sure that every party that you're closing, you should offer the join kit so that they can flip and join. And then the S is social sharing. Educate. Don't just post, produce, and let people know how you like it. And I really liked it because it actually helped me to learn how to promote my business and helped me to be more intentional with promoting and getting my name out and branding my own Scentsy business. And the other training I went to was Right on Target. And what I took from her, she was just saying that we need to make sure that we target certain products to certain customers. If we have customers, we should know what they actually like. And so once you learn what they like, you can actually promote it. Because she was talking about how the pug warmer, when it came out, she thought about everybody that she knew that owned a pug, and she promoted that product to that particular population. And she said every time something comes out, she thinks about who would benefit from it, who would like it, who would want it. And I think that's a lot of what I took away from it. I really liked the connection that I made with some of the other people that was there. I only really got to go to 2 trainings, but I like what I got from all of them.
That's super exciting. I wrote quite a few notes from that. Habits was super awesome. All right, time to unmute people. Who's next? Ashley, Carly,
I didn't know if Josie was going since she had popped up.
Cindy, Josie.
Do you want me to go or does somebody else want to go?
Carly, you're up.
All right, cool. I'm still coloring my egg, y'all. Because if I don't do it now, it won't get done. We're making progress. I think the biggest one that probably, I have pain on my leg, that stood out to me was Meredith's that we did last. So I actually used her whole asking people to join. Cincy, that's what I did with Leela, which, oh, y'all, I just smeared the egg. Oh,
Girl, put that egg down. You're about to mess it up. Focus.
That's what I actually did with one of my friends. She's moving back from Fayetteville in September, and she had called me, and I just like randomly asked her and caught her off guard, so she didn't have time to like actually think about her response. She was like, "Wait, what?" So that was why I had added her to the team page, just so she could see. I haven't heard anything back from her yet, but hopefully that'll work out. But I think the biggest thing was, sorry, I don't know how to turn that off, was if you don't talk to people, then you're not going to know where they stand. And that sometimes people have to tell you no, but then at least you know like where they're at that point, and you can pretty much figure out whether to follow up with them or not. So I've gotten like 3 no's or a lot of runarounds here currently, which is super frustrating, but it's fine. Some people have to take their time to do this. I did, so I can't really say anything about that. It took me forever. Staying constant on social media. Yeah, always go for the no, definitely. Well, what else would you go for? It's either yes or no. There's no in between. I mean, I guess there is, but that doesn't do you any good. So I would go for yes or no. Like you're making me rant or ramble. I hate that. I liked I don't know, there were so many things. And I'm not really a note taker. I absorb like mentally, not with taking notes. Sorry, I was reading comments. I don't know. I don't know. I think I'm done. I don't have any coherent thoughts right now.
Overall, would you say that it was like something that people need to go to?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think it's hearing the speakers is awesome, but also like hanging out with your team and getting to know everyone is also really important. You get to know everyone's backgrounds and why they joined and what their like not purpose, but like what their goal is doing this. And it's good to hang out with people that are like-minded. I think one of them had mentioned that you'll end up being like the 5 people that you hang out with the most. And so if the 5 people you surround yourself with don't have like mindsets, then they're not really benefiting you. Well, maybe benefiting isn't the right word. They benefit you because they're your friends, but you don't have the same intentions. Therefore, they're not as important in that aspect of your life.
That was awesome. Boom.
Does
You
that
did
make
it.
sense?
All right, Ashley got called. I don't know if she'll end up popping back on before Melon's done, but take it away, Melon.
All right. So I kind of have like a different approach towards World Tour. One, for me, events just fill my cup. And I know that our team is growing every year. Courtney and we've had more and more people attend World Tour. And it's just so fun because it's local. So more people are able to come rather than, for some people, it's hard to jump on a plane and fly across the country to go to SFR. So it's really nice just to, like Courtney said, to build that culture. So for me, it completely refills my cup. It keeps me motivated. But I did a lot of self-check this year at World Tour. I think at most locations, they had directors go up and randomly, like, that scared the bejesus out of me. And to say, like, our word for our business. And I said organized. That's kind of terrible, right? I mean, yes, it's important to be organized in this business, but it really just made me like recheck like where I'm at in this business and kind of self-evaluate. So since then, just kind of like a reflection of World Tour, I've been getting up at 5 a.m., which is an hour and 15 minutes earlier than I would be getting up to go to work. And I've been getting in my office and getting stuff done. Because I know that I have things that I want to accomplish and I can sleep when I get there, right? So for me, I got in my office this morning and put together an Earn a Kit bag party and was able to drop it off. And so it's quiet in the house. I can drink a cup of coffee, hang out with my dog, do my devotion, write down what I'm thankful for, and then jump into my business. And so it's really been a blessing for me to kind of be able to reflect in that way. I've also been able to reflect and say that, because in the beginning of our climb journal, they put down what are our challenges. And I've been hiding behind my challenges like bad. I've been telling myself that I'm not good at recruiting. Clearly I did something right. I mean, Courtney came to a home party, bought a car bar, and is now a director, right? So that just kind of like, I guess I'm doing something right. I mean, she's pretty awesome. I don't know if anybody else agree with me, but so I've just been hiding behind this fear and this lie that I've been telling myself that I'm not good at recruiting. Well, at the end of the day, I just wasn't opening my mouth about recruiting. I wasn't opening my mouth to have conversations. And I think Christy said this, if you're not, or someone said this, if you're not opening your mouth about your business, then your business is closed. And so I recruited the last time we had that $15 join promotion, and I really haven't recruited since then. And that's not okay, especially as a director. And so I told myself, I've got to get over this fear. I've got to move forward. And I've had more join conversations in this month alone, not just because of this incentive, because I was really self-reflecting on where I'm at in my business. And if I want to promote to star director, which is my goal to be at by next World Tour, I'm claiming it, I have to continue to recruit. So it was just a big self-reflection for me. I've made myself new goals. I've made my new self like goals for team and personal. And I'm ready to kind of earn them and hit them. But the biggest things that I wanted to share with you guys is, like Courtney said, was from Jennifer Anderson. If you have not seen her How to Make a $10,000 Paycheck, I will share it, and I can share it on Courtney's page. It is an amazing video. And she does all of her bomb.com videos in like the passenger seat or driver's seat of her car. She like goes and hides from her kids and her husband in her car and does all of her videos in there. but they're amazing. So here are some of the takeaways that I got from her. And I don't know if Courtney mentioned this quote earlier, but she said, excitement and passion get you to the base of the mountain. Skills get you to the top. And so that's what I've really been kind of like living off. I was living my business off excitement and passion. Like I had this passion and excitement for Scentsy. I was doing a lot of personal development to develop these skills, but I wasn't applying the skills to get me to the top. So that's something I've really been instilling is it doesn't matter how many PD books I read, I've got to take this time and the skills that I'm learning and actually apply them. It takes action to get where I want to go. Like I think Courtney mentioned this earlier, salespeople make more money. At the end of the day, we all join this and we're like, oh, I'm not a salesperson. Newsflash, you are, right? You sell an amazing product. Scentsy does an amazing job with their marketing and the product. You're a salesperson. So we have to step up to the plate. And you don't want to be like that creepy, like car salesman guy. So there's definitely ways to do this, but you are a salesperson. And when you kind of get in that mindset, you make more money. Let's see. Being a great salesperson means being a great leader. And I know somebody, I think Andrea said this, Jennifer Anderson builds her business at vendor events, which really speaks to me because that's what I primarily do. She said that being a great salesperson means being a great leader. So when a customer walks away at a vendor event, she goes up to their order form, and on the margins of the order form, she writes down everything that she can think of, like that she can remember from their conversation. Do they have kids, dogs, teachers? Do they need more money? Whatever she thinks about, she writes it down on the sides so she can follow up and continue to build that relationship. She talks about wallet sharing. So every product that Scentsy has is not for everyone. I have customers who are obsessed with the wax. They do not want the pods. I have people who only buy our cleaning products. They want nothing to do with the wax. So just again, I know some other people mentioned this, knowing your customers and knowing what product to share with them. We should always present everything to everyone, but then going back and knowing what's for our customers. And then this was the really big thing. Through relationships, we target market. Target marketing makes more money than general marketing, right? So in the beginning, you kind of want to present all the products to everybody. And then as you grow and build those relationships with people, that's when you can specifically give them certain products. I know who's going to want that squeeze a day cleaning bundle. One, because they're obsessed with that scent. Two, because they love our cleaning products. And Lord, I hope my computer does not die. All right, I got 11%. I can do this. So really knowing your customers. And she talks about when we target market, you have to know, when we target market, our customers have to know, like, and trust you. If they don't know you, if they don't like you, and they don't trust you, sure, they might buy from you at a vendor event, but they're not going to continue buying once they leave there, right? They might buy at a home party because there's this judgmental, I got invited to this home party, I need to purchase something because if I don't, that's rude, right? Like that stigma, right? That's probably why Courtney bought that car bar, right? But then we built a relationship. So make sure your customers know, like, and trust you. So those are the big things that I took away. An easy little thing that I could definitely start doing. Again, I'm not talking about I was not talking about the join opportunity enough. Now I am. Putting a join flyer in every bag. I was totally being that person when I was packaging orders, even at vendor fairs. I would pick and choose, right? That is not for me to pick and choose. I need to be sharing this opportunity with everyone. They can decide that they don't want it, but if I'm not sharing it with everyone, that's on me. So those are my big takeaways. Another self-reflection that I did, and then I'll be done, from World Tour was there was a bunch of directors. Okay? I went back and I thought, and I said, how many of those directors are actually active in their business? And so for me, I want to be one of those directors that walks across that stage and people know who I am. Not for bad reasons, for like good reasons. Like they see me working my business. They see me out at Vendor Bears. It kills me when people are like, oh yeah, she's in Cincy. Okay. Is she working her business? I want to be the girl where they constantly know that I'm in this, that they know that I'm constantly working. So like Carly said, I am posting on social media. I'm getting out there. And so that was just a really big self-reflection for me. There can be a lot of directors that walk across that stage at SFR. But are they all working? Are they all getting paid at title? And so I just want to continue to strive for those goals. And so for me, I would say that World Tour this year was the biggest time where I was able to come back and like really dig deep into me personally and self-reflect. And so I'm really excited to see where that takes my business like overall.
100. All right. So, Kira, did you want to say anything about World Tour?
Did you say Karen or Kira?
Kira?
Sorry, trying to figure out how to make this thing work.
No worries, we can hear you.
World Tour was really good because I learned a lot. I cannot remember her name, but she had the blue hair. I liked that she was like, she had genius ideas. She's like, okay, just because somebody else doesn't do it doesn't mean you can't, or just because everybody else is doing doesn't mean it doesn't work. She's like, hell, offer people to come and do your laundry and have them come out and see whatever you want to do. And I was like, oh, that's actually really smart. I like that. So I asked people, and a lot of people have messaged me back and been like, yeah, send me a sample. So I'm going to send samples of laundry and dog shampoos to people that I have around the area. I'm pretty excited about that.
That's super exciting. I'm so glad y'all got to come. Even for the first attendees, like that was probably the biggest, like, that made my heart happy, that for y'all that got to go for your first time, that was like super exciting for me. So I'm gonna go ahead and open it up to anyone that wants to say anything. We got about 5 minutes, or I mean, if y'all have other things to chat about, we're totally good to do whatever.
The egg is officially colored and on the team page.
Woohoo!
If anybody would like to use the photo.
Super exciting.
It's not super up close because let's talk about my artistic skills. Y'all should see my leg right now. My octopus is currently turning purple.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
So William wants everybody to know, I don't remember who it, I think it was Steffi, the first one, that she said to make sure you are aware of what, I guess, platform they like to use for follow-ups, and reaching out for products, because emails are pretty much now dead and void.
Yeah.
She asked in the group who checks their emails every day, and there was literally me and one other person. And so he wants everybody to remember, try not to email as much, because people don't check their emails as often as they would their text messages or, Facebook messages or anything else. That was his takeaway.
So I totally have to ask, since he opened up this can of worms. From a man's perspective, going with their significant other, can he give his side of the story?
It was not. He said it was my idea to go anyway.
It's freaking awesome.
Well, I mean, he said, well, it was his idea for me to sell Scentsy in the first place, which it was. I didn't know nothing about Scentsy until he was like, he's addicted to it. And I figured I'll make my money off of him alone, which, I mean, I guess I have. But, I don't know. I think he went full tour. He's just upset he didn't get a lunchbox himself. Other than that, I mean, he loves Scentsy. He's as crazy as it sounds, he's actually debating about joining himself, just so I have somebody under me, and so he can get the $300 in products.
Hey, that's actually really smart.
I mean,
He's like, I can sell $200 every month, or I can do it myself. I said, look, go, you do you.
I mean, hey, more power to you. So
Just
when
do
you
it.
when you do SFR, when both of you guys get a ticket, y'all both will get the kits and the giveaways that they give away at General Sessions each night.
Yeah, I saw how much that ticket is for registration.
Yeah.
Oh,
Hey, it's a tax write-off.
girl, it's a tax
It's like
write-off.
$325 for a ticket.
They have.
All right.
But
Those of you that are on, do y'all have anything else, or we'll close it out?
I want 3 clips.
No, I mean, I think it's incredible.
It was a really good time, and I'm super happy that we had a good turnout come. And it's only going to grow, so that's super exciting too.
I'm excited to see how much it grows. Just like seeing the difference between last year and this year will be really cool. Like, or this year and next year will be really cool, as well as seeing what good ideas that they have that are changing. Like, I like all the new stuff that they're coming up with and new ways to do things and offering it to make it easier for people to join.
Yes.
Like, a lot of people are like, oh, well, I don't have $99 to just join today, because a lot of people who don't have the income want to earn it but don't have it to start. And so I think it's cool that they're like, okay, well, you can earn your own mini kit now. So a lot of people, like, I have a lady who's going to sign up Friday. She wants to do the earn the kit. So she wants to do Facebook stuff and earn the $59 kit instead of trying to earn the $100 kit that she knows she doesn't have the money for because she just had a kid and she's out of work.
That's awesome. But it's so true that they're coming up with ways to not only, like, obviously retain your team, but ways to make it more successful for not only the new consultants joining, but more successful for people as a whole to retain their business. So that's something that not a lot of direct sales companies do for their people.
Yeah, and I love the incentives that they offer. It's stuff that actually motivates you to want to work harder.
Yeah.
Like, I used to work for Unique years ago, and the products it was really hard to earn anything unless you were like making like $1 million a day. You weren't going to succeed. So I like that it doesn't matter what level you are, you can still have the ability to succeed. Like, oh, 500 PRV, you can still get this.
Yeah.
Rather than being like, oh, if you're not way up here making, 5,000 PRV, you're not going to get anything, kind of thing.
I agree.
That is another benefit. It works was the same way.
Yeah, it's like, it makes it really hard to motivate you to want to work harder.
Has anybody had any success with the eggs and doing make and take parties?
Wait, with what?
With the eggs. So I'm a little bit of a crafter, obviously. What I've been doing with it is promoting it as like a make and take party. So like it would only take 5 people to put an order in to have a qualified party with the eggs.